To the Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Today, my guest is Paul Roybal. Paul was born and raised in northern New Mexico. He began his acting career with background roles in Breaking Bad. Besides acting, he's an on-air radio personality at 89.1 KANW FM in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Paul is also an award-winning vegan chef. He won second place in the Vegan Smackdown Santa Fe 2017 and first place in the Vegan Taco Takedown in 2018. Paul lives in Albuquerque with his partner Tammy, 4 dogs, and a 64-year-old parrot. Stick around. I want to introduce him to you. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Hello, Nancy. How are you? I'm doing really good. It's a beautiful day outside in New Mexico.
It is a beautiful day out today. I'm glad for that. Welcome to the Vegan Pulse. Thank you for taking time to be on the show. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for considering me for this interview. I really appreciate that.
Well, I love to hear all different stories from people all around the world about their journey into veganism. So that is my first question to you. What was your journey into veganism?
Well, I began transitioning to veganism about 10 years ago when I met my partner, Tammy Feeblecorn. Prior to that, I had been raised in northern New Mexico in pretty much a ranch environment. I would help my uncles brand the cows in the spring and, all of that stuff. I don't need to detail it because it's not great. Prior to that, I had very little knowledge about veganism. They were just the weird people that made a scene when they went to restaurants and told everyone they were vegan. But Tammy introduced me, and she did not pressure me in any way. She introduced me to veganism, and I started to see all aspects of it, not just as a food choice, but also, of course, the compassion side of veganism, which is really the driving force behind it for most people. I did not, at the time, 10 years ago, vegan food was a lot different than it is today. There have been huge advancements in vegan options in the cheese area, in the faux meat area, and other areas. But back then, I started thinking, I'm learning more about veganism, what it meant, the compassion side, how it didn't make sense that you could pet your dog and eat your cow, really thinking about it and realizing that for all these years I had been blocking that relationship out of my mind, which of course millions of people do, between, what is flesh. The other thing that I learned from Tammy real early on was words, the words you choose, not referring to an animal as an it, but as a living being and not a thing. That really helped me to transition, because when I started making those mental associations, then it all started becoming clear. It seems so simple, really, looking back, but it's a hard transition for many people to make, and they're resistant. I started out not as 100% vegan. And, for most vegans, I would hope that their choice is for compassion, for to choose a food choice because of, where the base components came from and any harm or that it may have produced on living beings in the production of the food, pretty much. So anyway, that's been my transition to. Right now, I'm 100% vegan. I don't, and it probably took a couple of years before I really transitioned completely into 100% veganism. But right now, I'm 100% vegan, and really think about every food choice, read labels, etc., every time we go out or eat or make food at home.
That's and you transition. You came from a ranch home style kind of a thing, and you finally, what you said about changing the it to a they made an impact. And one of the things that we need to do, and I know that Tammy talks about it, is changing our language. But tell me about, you also do background roles you were on Breaking Bad and some other shows. Tell us a little bit about being an actor.
Yeah, primarily background acting, but I'm trying to break into a full acting job, SAG union acting job. It's been a lot of fun. I've been in numerous productions in New Mexico. In fact, I just got off of one day before yesterday that was filmed downtown. It's called Coyote versus Acme. And it stars John Cena and Bill Fort from Saturday Night Live. And it's a hybrid animation. So the characters, we remember, of course, Roadrunner from our younger days. They're animated, but all of the other actors are real life characters. So that was an interesting challenge. And what I really enjoy about filming is, we're film buffs to begin with, but is learning how they're produced, so that you can look at a movie, or I do, and I see it a little bit differently from a different frame of reference. In that I know how it was put together, and sometimes you got to put that away and not think about that too much and enjoy the film. But it's certainly given me a different perspective. But I've been in Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, something with who's been in there, Army of the Dead. I've been in, The Wave with Justin Long. It's all been fun. It really is, and that's part of it. Is it's fun.
That's awesome. And you are an on-air radio personality on 89.1 KANW.FM here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So tell us a little bit about that and how people can listen to your time slot.
Sure. I got into the radio business about almost 10 years ago, about 9 years ago, as a volunteer at 89.1 KANW. The music genre was something that I grew up with. My mother would listen to it, and it's a unique genre to New Mexico. It's not produced by the major record labels. It's produced locally and submitted to the station for review and play. So that makes it really unique. I'm on Tuesday nights from 6 until 10 p.m. And then I'm also on Friday nights, a pre-recorded show from 9 until midnight. But I end up filling in for other air personalities quite often. So I've been on the air quite a bit.
Awesome. And I know that you were a chef at the Vegan Smackdown in 2017 and you won second place, but you won first place at the Vegan Taco Takedown in 2018. Tell me about your experience about going on to a competition with vegan food.
Yeah, veganism, vegan cooking presented a challenge that I enjoyed. I've always enjoyed cooking, but certainly not to this extent. It presented a challenge, and I wanted to explore that as much as I could. So using different recipes found online and through publications, came up with different stuff. The mac that I make is fairly unique. I got it from a book called The Vegan Formulary, and they have a lot of alternatives and recipes for making your own vegan cheeses and sauces, etc. And that was a lot of fun. The other one, the Taco Takedown, that first place one was really a whole lot of fun because I was involved with some professionally trained chefs that presented their entries, and it was just so cool to have showed them up, if you will. I'm not trying not to be a boastful person about it, but it was really a fun thing. We enjoyed meeting people, serving vegan food, talking about veganism, and I think that's what I like a lot, is being around an environment of vegans and non-vegans, so that we can help them get it, if you will.
And I've tasted your food, so I know that you cook very good. And your food.
Well, I've tasted yours.
It's also awesome. And you are one of our returning vegan cooking demo presenters at the upcoming Red and Green Veg Fest, August 20th. So I'm looking forward to see what you're going to show us then.
Well, it's going to be a surprise, Nancy, so I'm not going to divulge anything at this point. But those are so much fun as well, to be able to demonstrate to people and help them, with their journey into veganism on what techniques you use, what tools you use, spices, how to spice. It's different. It's different than the carnivore world, drinking cow secretions and cheeses and stuff. There's another word. It may be a bit disgusting, but talking about different words that we use, I refer to anything that comes out of a cow as secretions, and it grosses people out a little bit, but maybe it helps them get it too.
And then you are going to be an MC at the upcoming Masja. Tell us about that.
It's an annual Masja event is what it's called, and it is to benefit Positive Links, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to training people about the relationship between animal abuse and human violence, because there is a direct link, and in a lot of cases, there's not a lot of communications between those two parties. So if somebody's called, animal control officer is called to a house, he notices something. In the past, they may or may not have notified police, but if there's an established protocol to do that, hopefully it can reduce human and animal violence, or violence in general. So that's the benefit. Entrants can go online to Positive Links, the linknm.org, and register for the event. It's only a $10 registration fee. Can't beat it. You submit a picture of your dog and anything that identifies that dog as interesting that we can talk about. And so there's going to be a selection and a winner posted for that event. Really looking forward to it. I think it's the 6th year we've done that. You may correct me, but it's been going on for years, and it's always been a great fun event. People bring their dogs over dressed up in costumes and such. It's really a fun. It's going to be outside at the Altura Park here in this Sandia Heights neighborhood, and it's going to be a great event. It's going to be beautiful outside, lots of people. It's going to be food and other things for you to enjoy. So come on down.
That's awesome, and I will have links and information for that with this video and posted on our website once this is produced. And I want to thank you so very much, Paul, for taking time out to be on the Vegan Pulse. I surely enjoy your cooking and I enjoy hanging out. So thank you for being who you are.
Well, thank you, Nancy, very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on another Vegan Pulse. Remember to check out our website, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have a pulse, you have a purpose. Live vegan.